Hi, second grade, welcome back. Today we have a very fun project. Like I said, this year we're going to be focusing heavily on color. I can't wait to show you all of the cool things about color, but let's start with the basics. Last time we talked about the warm colors and the cool colors, warm being mostly red, oranges, and yellows, and then cool being green, blues, and purples. Warm things remind us of things that are, well, warm. Could be lava, could be fire, maybe the sun. These colors tend to make us feel excited. While the cool colors, purple, blue, and green, oftentimes make us feel more calm. They remind us of the sky, or some water or trees in nature. For this project, we're going to be painting, and we're going to be creating our very own still life. Now, that's a new word. Let's take some guesses. What do you think a still life is? Please raise your hand. All right, I hope I got some really good guesses. So a still life is kind of an odd word, but it basically means things that are not alive. So an artist may create a still life. They may find things in their house or around them that are not alive. Maybe these fruit technically were alive at some point, but now that they've picked them and put them into the picture, they are a still life. So it's not a person, that's a portrait. It's going to be things that you found around you. Throughout the years, a lot of famous artists have created still lifes of flowers. So a lot of times when you don't know what to paint, when you don't know what to draw, maybe just go out and buy some flowers and that can be your inspiration. And then, of course, artists are very creative and they put different touches on their work. So for instance, in this painting, I see some insects, I see butterflies, I saw a bee, and then I looked really closely and I even saw a caterpillar. So be thinking of ways that you can make your still life creative. I'd like to share with you some art by one of my favorite photographers, David LaChapelle. Now, a still life does not have to be just a painting. It could also be a photograph. But what's cool about David LaChapelle's floral still lifes is that he will include crazy random things. When I looked at this, I saw cups, I saw old food, I saw a random squirrel, eggs, a bunch of grapes. There's even dead and wilting flowers inside this picture. So I thought it was pretty crazy. Alright guys, so let's get started on some art because I know this is going to take a little while and I want to make sure you have everything you need. You should have walked in with a placemat. You should have 2 pieces of watercolor paper and then also your paper towels and a paintbrush. Okay, before you do anything, please make sure that your paintbrush and paper towel are to the side. Right now you're going to be looking at both pieces of paper. On each piece of paper, you're going to write your name and class code. At the very bottom left-hand corner in very small letters, I'm going to pause the video and give you your class code that you're going to put by each of your name. Now you're going to do this twice. Alright, so we should have our name and class code on there. I should have told you that. One of these papers we are going to paint with all warm colors, red, orange, yellow. One of them we're going to paint with the cool colors, green, blue, purple. You should have one paint palette on your table. Hopefully you haven't opened it yet, but it should look something like this. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I know that purple is really dark, but I promise it really is a purple. Now, the last person who used this mixed up the colors and did not clean the yellow, so now it's turning into this green thing. You're not going to be like them because that's something that kindergarten and first grade does, and I know that my second graders do a way better job of keeping their paints clean than they do. For this watercolor, we are going to need something called water. You're going to need water to use it. I haven't passed that out yet. In a moment I will, but I'm going to show you how I want this done before I give you the water. What we're doing today is really easy and it's gonna make some really cool effects on the paper. So notice these kind of look like fiery clouds of red, orange, and yellow. And then you might have some calming waters of blue, purple, and green. It's gonna be super easy. This should not take the whole class. Most of us should be done by the end. The reason that we're doing this though is because we're gonna use these papers to create our still life collage. Collage means that we're gonna be gluing paper together, but we're gonna be creating our own paper with paint. So I'm gonna show you how to do that now. It is super duper easy. You're gonna start with the warm colors, red, orange, and yellow. before you do anything, you're going to take one piece of paper and put it underneath your placemat or just far away. I only want you to focus on one piece of paper. So take one of your named papers and put it under your placemat or somewhere where you can't reach it. Awesome. So we're gonna start with the warm colors. When you paint with Mr. Boatfield, you go dip, let it drip, and you paint. So let's go over that again. I do what? Hope you said dip, let it drip, and then you paint. You swirl around the color that you want. I'm gonna start with yellow. Your yellow should be a lot better than mine, but I'm really sad about whoever messed up this yellow. And I'm gonna go ahead and start painting. I want you to paint clouds, crazy. Don't do stripes, don't do nothing, just go abstract. It's gonna take you way too long if you're doing your own fancy pants design over here. And I just need the paper. I don't need a beautiful picture because we're just gonna be cutting this up. So there's no point in doing a cute little warm cat or cute little dog. No, there's no point. You're gonna use this anyway. All right, so I have some yellow down. I think I'm gonna put a little bit more right down here. I'm doing all over the place because we're gonna be doing basically some crazy melty clouds. When you need to switch color, this is very important. Take your paintbrush, dip it in the water, give it a few swirls, let it drip, and then this is where Mr. Paper Towel comes in. Hi, Mr. Paper Towel. Hi, Mr. Paintbrush. You need to dry off. Just like when you get out of the bath or shower, you need to dry off your hair. You need to dry off Mr. Paintbrush. Now, one thing that Mr. Paintbrush does not like is when you scratch him against the paper and ruin his hair. Look at that bad hair day. You need to go softly. Be nice to Mr. Paintbrush. He did nothing wrong to you. If I see that you cannot handle Mr. Paintbrush, I might give you Mr. Crayons to work on your artwork instead. And I know that would be much less fun because if you're gonna have to use crayon, you're gonna have to be hard and waxy. Please use these paintbrushes correctly and also switch colors. So when you switch colors, you're gonna have to dip, let it drip, dry off, and then you can go ahead and get a new color. I'm gonna go with orange. Kind of looks a little bit red. I'm gonna go back in and get a little bit more color, baby color, and fill it up with those colors. Remember, go random, do clouds, do something cool. So now I have my orange all over. You can even go over your name, that's fine with me. I did a bad job at keeping my paper on the messy mat. Make sure that you're keeping it on the messy mat because, well, you're gonna make a mess. Then we're going to dip, let it drip, dry off. So to clean those colors of orange off, especially with yellow. You wanna make sure you don't get anything in that yellow, especially these guys. These guys always mess up the yellow. Never get those cool colors stuck in that yellow. It's so hard to get out. Dip, let it drip. And now I'm gonna do my final color of red, and I'm gonna fill in all those white spots. I want this totally filled up with color. That way I know that you are done. So as you're working, you can control how dark your color is. The more you swirl around the oval, the more deeper your color will be. There's some really cool effects that go on if you look closely. It spreads, it gets little lines. I want you to have fun with this. Make something really crazy and abstract. To me, it looks like crazy melty clouds. Once you're done with one, put your paintbrush in the water cup, maybe, and by the way, you're sharing this with your partner. You're going to move this out of the way, find your other piece of paper, and then you're gonna move on to what colors? The cool colors. Remember, dip, let it drip, and then I usually start with green. Swirl, 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 and go for it. Make something beautiful. So remember, random colors all over. Make it clouds. I'm looking in this project to see that you know the difference between your warm and cool colors. If I didn't make it totally clear for you, I mean, come on, how easy is this? Please don't paint your own thing. You're going to need these papers for your project. So, you know, you don't want to paint that beautiful, cute cat because we're just going to be using these papers to create our collage. Don't do that. Now blue, so I dip, let it drip, dry off on my paper towel, dip again, let it drip, and move on to your next color, baby color. So I added my purple, remember doing random. So now I'm all done. I have my cool color paper and my warm is done. I need to put these somewhere where they won't get wrecked up by the next grade or kindergarten. Where can I put these? I hope you said on the drying rack over here. You need to put it on the drying rack. But before you do that, you're going to do some things. You have to put your paintbrush in the water cup. You and your partner are sharing the water cup, so when you both are done, you're gonna put the paint cup or the paintbrushes in the water cup, close up the tray. When you and your partner are done, you're going to put up the supplies. So maybe one person can put the water cup in the sink. This is where we put the water cup. For those who are new, you just place it in the sink. You do not have to rinse it out. You do not have to dump it out. You leave it in the sink. You'd follow the green arrows back to your seat. Then if both you and your partner are done with the paint tray, you'll follow the green arrows, make sure it's closed, and leave it flat on the counter so that I can pick it up at the end. Now that you have both your cool and your warm watercolor, put them side by side on the placemat. You would hold the placemat with both hands. So I would have another hand over there, but right now I'm holding a camera, so just pretend. And then I would follow the green arrows and I would put it on the drying rack. Now, come on guys, do we put it on the top or the bottom? I hope you said the bottom. You know, my kindergartners, they're so funny and funky. They always want to put it up here. That's such a baby thing to do. You want to put it down here, guys. Put it down here so that other people can put theirs on top and then we can fill it up that way. Also, one thing that really annoys me is when people play with the drying rack. Did you know this drying rack cost me $200? Yeah, please don't play with it like an instrument. When you get back to your table, use your paper towel to clean. You're gonna notice that there's some spots all over. Use your paper towel to clean it up. Your table should be totally dry by the end of class. And then throw them away. We don't need that paper towel no more. It's not gonna be your art, throw it away. If you do finish before class is up, awesome. We have some options for you. I have Expo markers. Remember, take one board, one eraser, one marker. You could do cube structures on the floor. We're gonna limit this to 4 people today. You could do free draw. You could write me a note. You could do some blocks, or you could play the Picasso game if you know how to read the directions. All right, guys, I'm going to head out and let you guys make some amazing art. Bye-bye.